Hey Army, when exactly are you watching this video? Because if you're watching this before June 13th, 2026, you still have time. But if you're watching this after that date without doing anything about it, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. Clapperboard, only one night in cinemas worldwide. BTS Ararang live viewing. Are you ready or do you regret it? Okay guys, let's be real. We're not talking about just any ordinary concert here. This is not sitting in your bedroom watching a YouTube live stream while eating instant noodles. This is cinemas worldwide, and BTS is headlining. So here's the story. After nearly 4 full years of silence, 4 years without BTS performing together as a complete group, 2026 finally brought them back. RM, Jin, Suga, Jhope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook. All 7. Every single one of them. They've all completed their mandatory military service. And they did not come back quietly. They came back with a brand new album called Ararang, an album that shot straight to the top of the Billboard 200 in its very first 2 weeks. Their lead single, Swim, exploded on the Hot 100. And right now, they are in the middle of the BTS World Tour Ararang, which is no small thing. This is the most ambitious tour in the history of any Korean artist ever. We're talking 85 shows, 34 cities, spanning the entire globe from April 2026 all the way through March 2027. But guys, the biggest point isn't just about the tour itself. The biggest point is what happens on June 13th, 2026. June 13th. If you've been in ARMY for a while, that date means everything. June 13th, 2013. That was the day BTS debuted. The day 7 young men from South Korea stepped onto a stage for the first time and said, "We are here." And now, exactly 13 years later, on that very same date, June 13th, 2026, BTS will step onto a stage again. Not just anywhere. At the Busan Asian main stadium. Busan, a port city full of meaning. This is the hometown of Jimin and Jungkook. And for those of you who have followed BTS for years, you already know, the last time BTS performed at that exact same stadium was in 2022, during the yet-to-come in Busan concert. And that concert was a farewell. The last goodbye before they began their mandatory military service. They left from Busan. And now, 3 years and 8 months later, they are coming back to Busan, on their debut anniversary, in the city they love the most, as artists who have grown, matured, and come through the other side of something no one fully anticipated. If that doesn't give you chills right now, seriously, go check your pulse. But for real, this is not an ordinary moment. This is a symbol. This is the story of 7 human beings who left, endured, and returned. And BTS wants to share that moment with the entire world. Alright, let's get into the practical side of things. Because you might be wondering, how exactly do you watch a concert happening in Busan if you're sitting in your city, maybe thousands of miles away? The answer is BTS World Tour Ararang in Busan, live viewing. This is a global cinema event where BTS's concert at Busan Asian Main Stadium is broadcast live to movie theaters all around the world. One night only, June 13th, 2026. And this is not your average live stream that buffers every 5 minutes while you're hunched over a laptop. This is a full cinema experience, a massive screen, surround sound that makes your chest vibrate. And, most importantly, you are watching alongside hundreds of fellow ARMY members in the same room. Picture this. The theater lights go down. The screen comes to life. And suddenly you are looking at the 360-degree stage of Busan Asian Main Stadium with all 7 members of BTS standing right there. Live. Not recorded. Live. And you can scream, cry, sing along, and completely lose it with the fans sitting next to you who are just as obsessed with BTS as you are. An experience like that? You cannot buy it with more money. It is purely about whether you are there or not. In North America, official partners include AMC Theaters and Regal Cinemas. Across Asia and the rest of the world, major cinema networks are part of the broadcast. Make sure you check the official BTS World Tour website and your local distributors' announcements for confirmed theaters and showtimes in your country. One important note, for certain territories that are in very different time zones, screenings may be slightly delayed to accommodate local audiences, but everything is still happening on the same date. so double-check the specific schedule for your city. Now let's talk about the production of this concert. Because guys, this is on a completely different level. The BTS World Tour Arirang is built around an immersive 360-degree in the round stage design. That means the stage sits in the center of the stadium, surrounded by the audience on all sides. This is not a stage at one end of a field. This is a stage in the middle of the arena, making every single person in that stadium feel like they are close to BTS. And that also means when this concert is broadcast in cinemas, the camera angles available are far more dynamic and cinematic than any conventional concert setup. You get to see Jimin's facial expressions up close. You get to witness Jungkook's jaw-dropping stage presence in full detail. You get to experience the chemistry between these 7 people, a chemistry that never disappeared, even after nearly 4 years apart. And one more thing that makes the Busan concerts extra special is the set list. Based on reports from earlier stops on the Arirang tour, BTS has been performing new hits like Swim and Fire alongside legendary classics like Dynamite and Butter. And specifically for the Busan shows, a special track called One More Night has been added to the set list as a unique dedication to their hometown, replacing a different song that played in other cities. This is truly a concert designed to be a celebration, not just another tour stop. This is an anniversary show. This is a homecoming, and every second of it is going to feel different. And now, we need to talk specifically about one person, Jimin. For those who are newer here, Jimin is one of the 2 BTS members who was born and raised in Busan. And when we talk about a concert at Busan Asian Main Stadium, we are talking about Jimin performing on a stage in his own hometown, on the land that shaped who he is. Do you remember the yet-to-come in Busan concert in 2022? The moments Jimin had at that show? The way he looked at the audience, the way he sang with every ounce of emotion he had, the way his face changed when he was standing in Busan. There was something different about him, something deeper. And now, after almost 4 years, after he completed his military service, after he released the solo hit, Who That dominated global charts, after everything he went through and everything he grew into as an individual, Jimin is coming back to Busan, not just as a member of BTS, but as the fullest, most complete version of himself. This is not just a concert. For Jimin, for Jungkook, for all of BTS, this is coming home. And you can witness that moment, live, from the cinema nearest to you. Okay, I need a second. I'm fine. We're moving on. Here's one more thing you need to know. When BTS performs in Busan, the entire city transforms into a festival. Busan has launched BTS The City Arirang Busan, a citywide celebration that includes a spectacular drone lighting show above Gwangan Bridge on the nights of the concerts. There are exclusive BTS pop-up stores and photo zones scattered throughout the city, including inside Gimhae International Airport. And there are Arirang-themed light installations at the iconic Busan Cinema Center. The whole city welcomes BTS. The whole city becomes a stage. And if you are lucky enough to be physically in Busan right now, congratulations, you are living something that may not come around again for a very long time. But for those of us who can't fly to Busan, the cinema live viewing is our ticket in. And trust me, it is more than enough to feel the full energy of this historic moment. Alright, this is the practical section you've all been waiting for. How exactly do you watch this? You have 2 main options. Option 1, Cinema Live Viewing. This is the ultimate experience. Check the official BTS World Tour website or reach out to your local cinema distributor. In the US, Fandango and AMC are the go-to platforms. In Asia and other regions, follow official announcements from Big Hit Music. Tickets are limited and tend to sell out fast, so don't put this off. Option 2, online streaming via Weverse Concerts. If there's no cinema near you, or if theater tickets are already sold out, you can watch through Weverse Concerts. The concerts are scheduled to stream live on June 12th and 13th at 7 p.m. Korea Standard Time. There is also a delayed single-view streaming option for replay, available on June 20th and 21st. But obviously, watching it live hits completely differently. Our top tips. Number 1. Get your cinema ticket now if you haven't already. This is not an exaggeration. Events like this sell out extremely fast, and you do not want to be the person refreshing Twitter in tears because it's gone. Number 2. Come dressed as ARMY. Or purple, bring your army bomb if you have one. A cinema during a BTS live viewing is not a regular movie theater. It becomes a mini concert venue, and the energy is real. Number 3. Bring tissues. Seriously, bring tissues. This is Busan. This is their 13th anniversary, and this is Jimin and Jungkook performing in their hometown. You will cry. We will all cry. Just accept it now. Number 4. Arrive early. Most BTS live viewing venues have pre-show content and a crowd that's already buzzing, and you don't want to miss a second of that energy. Guys, before we wrap up, I want to say something that goes beyond tickets and schedules. BTS is not just a boy band. An army is not just a fan base. Over these 13 years, the relationship between BTS and their fans has become one of the most extraordinary phenomena in the history of modern music. They debuted with everything stacked against them. A small agency, limited resources. Nobody expected them to become what they became. But they worked. They wrote songs about dreams, about anxiety, about love, about identity, and people all over the world heard themselves in those songs. They became the first Korean group to top the Billboard 200. Jimin became the first Korean solo artist to rule the Billboard Hot 100. They spoke at the United Nations. They won American Music Awards. And then, they disappeared. Not because they gave up, but because their country called. And for nearly 4 years, ARMY waited. Not without tears, not without uncertainty, but with the deep belief that they would come back. And they did come back. With an album called Arirang that immediately broke records. With a world tour that set a new standard as the most extensive tour ever undertaken by a Korean artist. And with a peak moment happening on June 13th, 2026, in Busan. June 13th, 2013, BTS began their journey. June 13th, 2026, they celebrate 13 years of that journey. In the city they love the most. In front of fans from every corner of the world. And you can be a part of that moment. So the question is simple. Are you going to be there? Or are you going to spend the rest of your life wishing you had been? Events like this don't come twice. Moments like this don't repeat themselves. BTS in Busan, on their 13th anniversary, broadcast live to cinemas around the world. This is history being made in real time. And the best kind of history is the kind you witness for yourself. Go find a cinema near you. Look up tickets for BTS World Tour Arirang in Busan live viewing. And if you've already got yours, drop it in the comments right now. Let's hype each other up, ARMY. To everyone who's already subscribed, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like this video, share it with every ARMY in your life who might not know about the live viewing yet, and hit that notification bell because we'll keep bringing you the latest updates. See you on the other side. And remember, purple you. Purple heart.